Namaste, welcome back to Stithapragna, and you are watching AWS Real-Time Cloud Projects. Yes, these are real-time, and all these projects are actually implemented by AWS for their clients, and they are giving us this awesome opportunity using this AWS Cloud Quest for us to get hands-on experience, right? Because not all can get hands-on experience, and we cannot even go anywhere and get these projects as well. But here we have that opportunity and I'm utilizing it. At the same time, I want to share all this hands-on experience with you guys so that by the time you watch all the 75 or so projects, you get 3 years of experience. Yes, trust me, by the time you finish all the 75 or more projects, you will actually get more than 3 years experience. But I'm being modest. I'm telling you, like, 3 years experience, at least 3 years of experience. So what are we waiting for? Let's do our 54 project. Yes, we have done 53 projects so far, and in this video we are going to do our 54th project, which is securing API. So what are we going to do? The software company wants to build an authentication solution for its prototype application to securely access its backend infrastructure. I mean, if the infrastructure is not on AWS, obviously we are going to use, what is that? Cognito. But I don't know. Let's see what we are going to use here. I don't know. If the application is trying to access infrastructure that is not on, if it is there somewhere else, then obviously Cognito. But if it is on AWS, then we know what we will use, IAM. So let's take a look at this. Hello, I am so happy that you have come to help. My team is busy developing a prototype application that we want to demo soon. However, our new compliance officer found some security issues. Can you suggest a solution for us? Sure, I'm happy to help. What are the issues? Our prototype application uses Amazon API Gateway to access our backend microservices. In our recent security review, we found that our API Gateway is not secure. Based on a new compliance rule, we need a standard authentication and authorization solution. Okay, I think Amazon Cognito can help you because it provides authentication, authorization, and user management for your application. See, I'm smart. You can use an Amazon Cognito user pool to control who can access your API in Amazon API Gateway. But how do you associate the user pool with API Gateway? To use an Amazon Cognito user pool with your API, you can set up an Amazon Cognito user pool as an authorizer on your API in Amazon API Gateway. No worries, I will show you. How then does Amazon Cognito help control access? When a user signs into your application, Amazon Cognito verifies the login information. If the login is successful, it returns access tokens. You can then invoke your API with the tokens. API Gateway validates the token with Amazon Cognito. If valid, access to API Gateway is allowed. Sounds like this might be what we need. Can you show us how to build this solution? Of course, I can show you. Awesome. Thanks for your help. All right. So I think this will be our first time interacting with Amazon Cognito. I'm excited. So in this excitement, go and destroy those subscribe, like, and comment buttons. So by the time we finish watching this particular project video, we will learn how to create Amazon Cognito user pool and also how to configure an authorizer and attach to your API method. And then we will use the token to access Amazon API Gateway. Awesome. Let's click on start. Here we are, as usual, video concepts, and as usual, if you haven't watched these videos, I would recommend you to go to these videos, watch them, but I'm not going to play them here. You can watch them on the playlist that, it will pop up right here on the right side corner. Click on that, go ahead and search with these names and watch the respective videos. And I highly recommend you to watch them because they are so informative about these particular services. Once you finish watching them, come back and watch the remaining part of this video. All right, let's go back And here is our diagram steps. So let's go through each step. So this solution provides access to an API in API gateway by using an Amazon Cognito user pool, which is at the top. A user pool, what is exactly a user pool? A user pool is a directory of users in Cognito. With a user pool, users can sign into applications through Cognito. When a user signs into an app, Amazon Cognito verifies the login information. If the login is successful, Cognito creates a session and returns multiple tokens. An API request is made with one of the tokens, which are typically set to the request authorization header. An authorizer is a feature in API gateway. An authorizer can be used to control access to APIs by using Cognito user pools or AWS Lambda functions. With the Amazon Cognito user pool authorizer, API gateway requests validation of the token provided in the API request. If token validation is successful, then authorization to proceed is provided. With that authorization, the API request is allowed and API gateway then invokes the Lambda function. Upon completion, the Lambda function returns a response to the user through the API gateway. Using the same Amazon Cognito user pool token and authorizer process, API gateway can access other Lambda functions. So we are going to do all this as part of our practice goals and the DIY goals. So let's see what we are going to do as part of the practice lab goals. Of course, we are going to create an Amazon Cognito user pool. Then we will configure this as an authorizer and we will attach it to the API gateway method. Then we will obtain Cognito user pool tokens. I think from here using the Lambda function. And then we will use the Cognito user pool ID token to access your APIs in the API gateway, which is all straightforward. Now, as part of the DIY, what are we going to do? We will configure the API gateway to integrate with the DIY AWS Lambda function. As part of practice labs, I think we'll integrate this one, but DIY, there is another Lambda which will do that. Then we will use Cognito user pool ID token to access your API in API gateway, which then invokes the DIY Lambda function. Similar, they are going to show you how to do it for this one, then we'll do it for this one. It's very simple. Okay, let's go and finish the practice lab goals. So let's start the lab. Oh, that was fast. We don't have any files to download. As usual, I won't read the concept, but I want you to pause the video, read the concept, and then go to resume the video so that you can go to the next step. But I will show the concept for each and every slide. So we'll go to the Lambda first and make sure we are in North Virginia. Okay, cool. And then let's open those two Lambda functions and then review them. Okay, no problem. But we are going to click the first one, the Lambda function practice. And then we are going to review this response body. You have successfully connected to API gateway, invoked, etc. And then we are going to go to API gateway. And don't forget to read the concept, okay? And there is already an API that is created for us. Let's click on it. And there is already a method they created, which is the get method. Resources, get, and then we have integration request. Then we'll scroll down. And in the integration request settings, we have that Lambda function practice. So this is going to trigger that Lambda function that we reviewed previously. So if everything works fine, then this should run that particular function and then we should see the message API successfully connected, etc. Don't forget to read this. And then how are we going to do that? We are going to go to stages. Then we'll copy the URL and then we will enter it in that so that we can try to access the Lambda function now. But obviously, oh, it did work. Okay. So you have successfully connected to and invoke the Lambda function. Okay, that is nice. Okay, so we are supposed to add /lab at the end. So let's hope I will remember that. And then we are going to go to Cognito. because right now there was no user authentication that is happening. We just clicked on it and it ran successfully, but usually we are supposed to have a user authentication. So in the Cognito, we are going to create a user pool. What is a user pool? It is just a directory of users. And then user pool, then we are going to choose username, how they are going to sign in, username, and then password that Cognito false defaults. But if you want to use your own custom password, you can do that as well. Then let's go down and then review deliver method for user authentication recovery, email only, and then enable self-registration, attribute verification and user account confirmation, and then send email with Cognito from email address. I guess we need to give some email address here. For from email address, review the default of, we just need to review it, not to enter anything. Okay, that's fine then. And then username pool, we are going to use lab user pool. I know these are all new to me, so I hope I remember all this. Then we'll select use the Cognito hosted UI. Okay. And then the Cognito domain name. They want us to type a unique name for your domain. Okay, unique name. Okay, I know what would be unique. I can do that. And then for the app client name, okay, I will enter that. Enter a friendly name for your app client. Do not generate a client secret. Then paste this one. Where did we get this? Okay, this is we got from whatever. Okay, so what we are doing is whenever somebody hits this, then it should take you through the Cognito. It should not show whatever it showed earlier. Instead, it should show the Cognito window wherein it will ask the username, password, and so on and so forth. Okay, very nice. Advanced app setting, then choose this one. Okay, I think these are too many things for me to remember. Let's see. Let's hope I remember all this, even though I'm making a note of them. Okay, I will choose user SRP auth, you allow custom auth, and admin user password auth, and then choose OpenID. All this, seriously, for OpenID connect scopes, choose all available. Okay, all available options. Okay, that's fine. I will scroll down and then review. Okay, nice. And then it is created, and then they want us to copy the user pool ID. Okay, I think this is a test to my memory power. Then let's click on the user pool. Then let's go to app integration. Okay, and lab app client. You might have multiple apps. The app that we are trying to connect is this one. Then client, copy the client ID. Okay, copy client ID. I think we are going to enter these details somewhere. Then we'll click on the lab app client and then we'll click on view hosted UI, because remember when we are setting it up, we told it to use the hosted UI of the Cognito. So it is showing us username, password, and then we'll sign up for a user. And we are going to use, you will use this is the username in later steps. Okay, the username we are using is lab username, and email, my email, and then password type copy. For password, type a password and then copy your password. Oh, okay. Okay. It should satisfy all this. Got it. And then they are going to send an email and we need to come back and enter that verification code. And then it should show the message that it previously showed. Awesome. So now everything is successfully working, right? Now this is protected. Nobody can just enter that URL and expect the Lambda to run. Instead, now it has to go through a username password. So now that is looking good, but we still have to, I guess, go and add the authorizer to it, even though we are pointing it to that URL. I guess we have to still go to the API and then create authorizer. Nice. Okay. And the authorizer name we are going to use is lab authorizer. Okay. And again, you can use Lambda as an authorizer or Cognito. In this example, we are going to use Cognito. Maybe there will be some other example where we'll use Lambda. And we are going to use US East one. And then we are going to use the lab user pool that we created. And then the token source is authorization. So let me go here, copy this. And let me scroll this slowly down so that you can read the complete text. All right. Now create authorizer, review done. Now if you click on resources, get and method request, click on the method request, edit method request. I know that I'm going to get confused a lot, but I want to show everything in a single go. I don't want to come to and fro, but let's try. I mean, there is nothing. So now we have to choose that lab authorizer. Whenever somebody calls that get, call this authorizer, and the authorizer name is lab authorizer, which we just created. Then let's redeploy this app. Okay, let me scroll this down slowly so that you can read it. Now deploy this app, which means we are making it live, and the stage is prod, deploy it. And now if you hit that URL, it will say unauthorized because we have to send our username password. Since we didn't do that, it's saying you are unauthorized. Okay, so how do we do that? So now there is another function which is the Lambda function validate. So click that to expand it and review lines 20 to 24. Okay, so it is just asking enter your cognito pool ID, client ID, username, password, and API gateway URL. These all things we already copied previously, so we are going to paste them here. And then review lines 29 to 38. Okay, so what they are doing is they are using the Boto 3 client and then they're getting the tokens using your username password, which is what they are doing here, Cognito tokens. And in the line 39, they are giving that token to this one. And I guess this will pass to the API in the header. So let's click next. Oh, they are telling us to paste all this information. That's fine. User pool ID, client ID, all that information. Cool. And then configure test event. I think we are going to execute it and it will give us a token. At least that's what my assumption is. And yes, it gave us the access token and also the refresh token because this expires in 3600 seconds, which is like what, an hour. Then there is something that is uncommented out. So let's go ahead and uncomment it because we don't want to copy and paste that token, right? I think when you test this, oh, okay. So this is automatically going to send that token to the API and then it is going to trigger that API for us. Instead of going to the browser and refreshing it, this is doing it from here. And as you can see, it's successfully printed. You have successfully connected to API. So that's what. And congratulations. Yes, we are done. But no, we are not done yet. We are just getting started. So what do you guys think? Do you think we will replicate whatever they showed us? But what do you guys think about this project so far, right? I mean, it is interesting. This is my first time that I am using Cognito. So it is completely new. Whatever I'm doing here is completely new. As I mentioned, I'm not that other than IAM roles, users, a little bit of KMS encryption. I'm not that familiar with security related things. So here is something else that I learned and I enjoyed it. So let's see if we can replicate whatever we did. So first of all, we'll go to Lambda and then we are going to review this one. And here we can clearly see that API gateway is going to trigger this function. Okay, not now. Okay, since we already reviewed it, I think it doesn't matter, but yeah, sometimes let me close all this. It says connection reset and it doesn't show us the code. Yeah. So what I did last time was I just clicked on test. I just said a demo or something and I just tested it. Save. And now if I go here, last time it showed me the code. This time it's not. Details. And you can see you have successfully connected. That's what this does, right? Anyways, it's not showing since we already reviewed the code. I'm not that concerned about showing you guys all that. So let me go to here and we are going to go to the API gateway. And they already created that for us. Let's open it. And if you click that and let's go to the um, stages and let's copy this and let's go here and let's hit lab. Now this will run the Lambda function behind the scenes and as you can see, but if you see there is no authentication that is happening here, right? That is what we are going to implement it. Okay, so how do we do that? We can go back to the APIs, click on this, get, and you can see the Lambda integration request, etc. All that showed us here. Etc. Anyways, since we already entered this, now what do you want to do? Obviously, we want to go to Cognito. Cognito. Since we explored both the Lambda and it, let's create a user poll. And that's already selected. We are going to select username. Allow users to sign in with a preferred username. Make username case sensitive. Um, I don't know if they selected this. Did they? Well, let's try without this. And this we chose Cognito defaults. And I think, I don't remember. I think this is default, I guess. Users must provide an additional authentication when signing in. Let's select no. MFA for this one. Email only. Next. Enable self-registration. Allow Cognito to automatically send message to verify and confirm. Send email, verify email address. Keep all that. Keep all that. Additional required attributes. I don't think so. Okay, I think maybe they selected. Did they select anything here? Nope. Custom attribute, I don't think so. Next. Email provider from email address. Choose an email address that you have verified with SCS. I think they showed us some email address, right? Okay, we'll go there later on, or I will go right now because I remember they telling us to use some no reply yet, some email ID. Oh, okay, we are here. Okay, they didn't select that. I think I have to go back and undo that. No reply. Okay, let's copy that. Well, they said default, but they didn't give me this for default. That's cheating. Okay, let's go to the first one. Oh, I didn't select that as well. Oh, nice. My memory. Okay, let's go. Let's go and give that. Oh, they're not letting me enter it. Okay, then how do we do it? sorry, send email with that. Or now they are giving it. And I think that's good enough. Yes, user full name. We are going to give it this one. Use, yes, we are going to do that. Use custom domain name, no cognito domain name, yes. And here they told us to use a unique name. Okay, of course that will be available. And public client, confidential client, other. No, I think we are fine with this. And the client we are going to select is this one. Don't generate, obviously allowed callback URLs. I don't think we gave that. Yeah, I think they asked us to select here admin user custom, right? If I remember correctly, I guess so. We will get to know the hard way. Grant types, I think, yeah, okay. They didn't ask us to select anything. They told us to select everything that is here. I don't think we are going to select that. Okay, click next. Oh, did we miss something here? Okay, I don't remember we choosing this. Okay, PJ mod, let's go and let's see. Did they give anything? Oh yeah, callback URL. The important part, I just skipped it. I just skipped it. I just skipped it. Awesome, right? If they didn't complain, then we would have learned it the hard way. Anyways, I know there are a lot of things that I think I still feel like I am missing something somewhere. That's fine. Let's see. We'll see it. We'll find out about it the hard way. Okay. And let's copy this, which is the user pool ID, which will require later on. Let's click on this. And we can create a user, but I think they didn't show us to create the user from here, but instead they showed us app integration. I think cognito domain, we need this cognito domain. I'm assuming I will just copying it. I don't know if we'll need it or not, but we are supposed to go to the clients. Okay, here we go. And we also need the client ID. And then click the lab app, click key app client. And that is our callback URL. Are we copying anything from here? I guess not. Let's go to view hosted UI. Okay, I don't know why it is showing twice. I'm not fine. That's fine. Username is lab username. I think I hope that is the correct email. Password contain uppercase letter. Okay. Okay, I'll just say okay. Sign up. Okay, and then it is going to email me. Okay, let's see. And it did email me, and the verification code is 98. Okay, confirm. All right, now you can see we have successfully connected to this one. So far, good. Okay, now as you can see, it automatically put that code and authorized itself and etc. But that is not the end of it. We have to integrate whatever we created with the API, right? So we are going to go to again authorizers, create authorizer, and the authorizer name is lab authorizer, and we are going to select Cognito to do it, and this is the lab user pool. Token source is authorization. Create authorizer. Simple. It's created. Now let's go back to stages. Sorry, resources. Get method request and edit it. Authorization. Lab authorization. Okay. I think pretty much that's it. We're not going to add anything. Save it. Okay, that's added. Lab authorizer is added. Cool. So far, good. Okay, now let's go and try to refresh the previous one, this one. Okay, and it's still giving us. Okay, let me go here. I don't remember what we are supposed to do next. Okay, app integration done, done. Confirm done, done. We created the authorizer and we linked it. Okay, that is done. We integrated it with that, done. Oh, we need to deploy. That's why I'm like, why is this working? It is not supposed to work. Okay, so we have to deploy the app. I should have wrote it, but that's fine. Okay, once we deploy it, I think if it is active, if I refresh, this should throw an error, but it's not deployed yet, looks like. Okay, let's wait and see. Deploy it, prod, deploy. Yeah, it's the same one, right? It should not work, but for us it is working, so let me copy. Yeah, as you can see, maybe it stored the cookies sticky session. Anyways, now as you can see, it says unauthorized because now it has an authorizer, which is the Cognito that we created user pool. Since we are not passing it any token, then it don't know how to get it self-authorized. So that, what did we do? How did we do it? Since it's not all integrated, we have to go to the lambdas again and go here, and we have a validate. So technically what this does is it connects to the Cognito using the username password that we created, and then it will get the tokens, and then it will give the tokens to the API. Then the API will again go back to Lambda for uh, authenticating whether those token is correct or not. Then it will get a reply, then it will trigger the other Lambda function and it will show this. Since we are not doing all that from that, we have this Lambda function which does it for us. So let's go and try to refresh it. I hope it will show the code because we have to do some modifications in this one, and I don't like that. Seriously, what is this connection? Let's create a dummy event name. Save it. Okay. Now, nope. Test it. Test. It will fail because we didn't enter anything. Okay, this is not good, guys. This is not good at all from these guys. Only during this season 5, I started noticing this one. Okay, how do we... All right, I have to close everything and open again back. But anyways, here we have finally our validate function, and they asked us to review, which we did earlier, wherein it is going to get the tokens using the username and password that we created, and we are going to provide all these details here. So do you remember any of these guys and girls? Okay, that's fine. User pool ID, I copied it, which is this. Client ID is this. API gateway URL is this. Username is lab username. Password I think I created is lambda at 1234. I think pretty much that's it. Then it will use this username, password, and user ID pool, etc., and it will get the token. And let's run this. If you run this, it should deploy it. And if you run it, it should spit out the token and the refresh token. Okay, that is green, noticed. Let's hope everything we did is correct. Of course not. What is it complaining about? Invalid username or password. Why? Oh, okay. Okay, at least I think that's why they asked us to copy paste the password, because they know that we are going to forget. I hope that is the right one. And yes, and at least we know it is working. It's not like faked. Okay, we have the access token and etc., but we are not passing this to the API through the headers, which we can totally do that, but we are not doing all that. And we will use the same function to do all that awesome stuff. So there is already another function they created, which is this one. So let's uncomment it. And access API, this is the function. What does it do? It takes the token that are the above function spits, and it's this is the header. You can use a tool called Postman and try to hit that API, which will work totally fine, but we were doing it through the Lambda function. And the API gateway URL is that URL that we pass there, and response we are getting back. So deploy it. I don't think I have Postman, do I? Oh, I do have Postman. Okay, and if I test it, okay, and test it, which is working fine. You can see you have successfully connected to the API gateway function. Oh, did I close all of them? Yeah, I think from the code at least we were able to um, hit this and able to get that message successfully. So I think I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead with our DIY. I mean, I liked it. Okay, I love this. Okay, because why? First thing, I learned how to create a Cognito user pool, and second thing, how to integrate it with the APIs. And then third, we made a HTTP call from Lambda, which I did several times. But then now we are going to configure API gateway to integrate with the DIY AWS Lambda function. Then use the Cognito user pool ID token to access your API in the API gateway, which then invokes the DIY Lambda function. Um, okay, we have to configure it. Okay, let's see. So should we add another one, or should we remove the existing one and put this one instead? They didn't ask us to replace this, to integrate with DIY AWS Lambda. Okay, let's go there. get, it has Lambda integration. Do I do a new one? Is that what is it? Is, okay, let's try to do that. Edit. Oh, not the authorization, not the body, not the request. Okay, APIs. Click on this and let's click on the get Lambda integration. Okay, how do I edit this one? Integration request. Edit this Lambda function. Let's go and cancel this and instead we put the DIY. Okay, so let me move this aside. Click save. Okay, we updated it to trigger that. That is one step done. Use the user pool ID token to access your API, which then invokes the DIY Lambda function. Okay, I mean, we can do that. We still have that Lambda function, right? The validate. I mean, doesn't it do the same thing? I don't know what they want us to do. Okay, then you want the Amazon API gateway URL. Okay, we will give you. So let's go here first and then test it. I mean, this should still work properly, and this should still say which function invoke the AWS Lambda function. I mean, our function, I guess. Okay, I think is that's it. Okay, if I go to our Lambda, let's see if it ran or not. How do we see that? If I open it, the trigger should be API first of all. Yes, which is the right one. Then to see if it actually ran or not, I'm going to go to the CloudWatch logs. By going from there, what happens? It will actually take you into that log group. Oh, does not exist. Seriously, in this account or region, or maybe they are not rating. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Let's close this. Let's leave this here URL. I think they will take care of it. I think I already have this. Copy. Let's go here. No, they want this one. Let's paste it. Validate. Hints. You can use the same authorizer for the DIY section that you configured. Yes, that's what we did. Use the Lambda test event to test the API connection, which we did. It worked. All right, I think that's about it. Our API is secured with Cognito. So what do you guys think? Did you like the project? At least I did it. I liked it. I mean, it would have been nice if the Postman worked, but I guess they didn't open up the lab for to connect from external sources. I guess that's fine. I'm fine with it. Anyways, I hope you liked it. You know what to do. Go destroy the subscribe, like, and comment button. When you do that, YouTube is going to show these videos to anyone who searches for the projects. That is in your hands. I cannot do that. So please go ahead and do that so that these videos can reach to as many people as possible. Thanks for your solution. Our complaints officer is happy now and our prototype is ready. You are most welcome. Choose the reward and I think I will pay. It doesn't matter, I guess. All right, now fireworks and feedback time. Take these few seconds to go and give the feedback on the video. It's just to minimize it. If it is full screen, then you have comment like right underneath it. Nice. We leveled up again. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and zap some drones. I think this will be a little bit complex because this Cognito is something new, and I don't like API questions. Administrators can use Cognito Identity Pool to control who can access their API in API Gateway. Yeah, I think they can because literally when we are creating it, they asked us to give the administrators, right? I'm assuming. Yeah, somewhere we did mention about administrators, etc. Okay, there is nothing here. Okay, I will just pick false. Yeah, we almost selected right a wrong answer. I already told you guys that I'm not good at this. What does an Cognito user pool provide? Temporary AWS credentials, a user directory, security features such as, I guess, yes, sign up and sign in services. Huh. Okay, let's select this. Security, identity federation, app integration, customization of user experiences. Okay. Sign up, yeah. Sign up, sign in. What else? Security, customer experience, monitoring, analytics, identity pools integration. I don't know. This is yes. Mm, I saw we have MFA. Maybe temporary. This one? Maybe that's not it. Yeah. Yep. Doesn't give us temporary credentials. Almost all the questions they asked, we almost did it wrong. What is needed first to use Cognito User Pool with an API? An authorizer? Duh, we just did it. Okay, not that one. I want a blue. We have plenty of them here. Which resource is an API gateway feature that uses Lambda function to control access to an API? Seriously? Lambda authorizer, not Cognito. Okay, so far good. With the Cognito User Pools Authorizer, if the OAuth scopes option is not specified, API Gateway treats the supply token as an identity token. Okay, that I don't know. We did pick all the scopes that were available at that point, but if this is not provided, okay. If you do not configure any authorization scopes, API Gateway treats the supply token as identity token. So I think it is true. Nice. I learned something. When a user signs into an app, Cognito can verify the login information. With tokens, which tokens does Amazon? Oh, we know this. I saw this in the Lambda when we tested it. That's an easy one. Wow, I didn't know that they had this many questions. Which resources can administrators use to build fine-grained authorization to protect their APIs? User pool, which three? I don't know about identity pool, but I am that. I guess so. Cognito, API Gateway, and IAM. Yeah, I think these three. Yes. Wow. I think, did we do anything wrong in the last video? I don't remember, but this video, nothing. What can be used to sign in users through social identity providers and SAML identity providers? Aha, interesting. I don't think this exists. I think it is one of these. I think it is identity pool, even though they didn't tell us. Using the way you can authenticate other user building from your customer identity providers. Like, yeah, but which one? I think it is identity pools. With a trusted identity provider like a user pool or a SAML service. See this? I am assuming it is this. This is user pools. Features of user pools. You can have all these. Awesome. Identity pools. Pretty much the same. Okay, I think let me. Cognitive user pool can also fulfill a dual role as service provider to your IDPs and IDP to your app. I mean, user pools can connect to customer IDP. Oh, it's the user pool. User pool. I almost selected the wrong one. 100% so far. Which AWS service can create advanced policies to further refine access to APIs behind API gateway? Advanced policies can create advanced policies to further refine access to APIs. Behind API gateway, are you going to use API gateway? I think it's IAM. But there is no cognito in here, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there is gateway as well. Did they ask to? No. Advanced policies. Okay, let's see. Advanced. With IAM, you can create. Yeah, it's IAM. Correct. Correct. Okay. Okay. I don't see any blue. Okay, here we go. Wow, there are so many questions being asked right now. Which type of token contains claims about the identity of the authenticated user, such as name, email, phone number? ID or access? The ID token contains claims about their identity. Yes. Nice. Okay. We have still, I guess, I don't know if are we done. Let's see. Yes. How does AWS Lambda scale in response to incoming requests? Lambda scales based on the amount of memory provision at the time the function was created. Nope. I don't think there is any such thing. I think it is this one. And it is wrong. EBS backed TCT instance must be in a specific state to change its instant type. Which one? It cannot be terminated. Stopped. Yep. And that's about it, guys and girls. We are done with today's questions on Amazon API and Cognito. I hope you like this. I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you in the next video and peace out.